Welcome back to Redirecting, and I'm going to be sharing a very interesting clip that deals with the marriage of Will and Jada Smith. Okay, very, very interesting. I don't really typically like to cover or talk about celebrity things, okay? But this one is interesting because many of you who follow our ministry know that we did the marriage series, in which we're going to pick that back up again shortly. But I wanted to talk about this particular clip because in the clip, Will Smith said something that was very interesting to me, and I never knew this. I don't know if they've talked about it before, but I wanted to talk about it because of something very interesting that he said. Now, when you look at their marriage, you see only the good parts, okay? They've shared a lot about their marriage, in which I'm not getting off into the gossip portion of all of this. I want to talk specifically about domestic violence. Something very interesting that really kind of grabbed me when I saw Will Smith, a very famous, very wealthy black man, in which anyone knows, just about everyone in the world knows who Will and Jada Smith are. But Will Smith said this, and I just thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. There was an incident where his wife cussed at him. She dropped the F-bomb in front of a room full of people. Now, this was after he had divorced his first wife, or should I say she divorced him. And he and Jada Smith, or Jada Pinkett, got together. And she was always very feisty. They met. He actually went to the set of A Different World to meet her, right? And so she was very feisty, and that was one of the things he loved about her. But she had gotten to a point where she was a little bit too feisty in front of some of their guests. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the clip real quick, and then I'll be right back with my commentary.
She cursed at me in front of 20 people at this party. She's like, Will, would you shut the up?
Ooh.
With Trey sitting on my lap. And I grabbed a newspaper and I said, bah! Can I talk to you in the other room, please?
Oh, and I was like,
Right.
This joker just hit me on my head with a newspaper?
We went in the other room and I said, Jada, this is the deal. I grew up in a household where I watched my father punch my mother in the face. I will not create a house, a space, an interaction with a person where there's profanity and violence. If you have to talk to me like that, we can't be together.
Wow.
We're not going to use any profanity in our interactions. We're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to be violent. I can't do it.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you're not going to be hitting me in my head. I said, get out. She was like, wait, so you would break up with me over some words? I was like, yeah, I just did. I was like, we're not cursing.
Damn.
And her eyes welled up with tears. And she was like, okay, we didn't use any profanity in any
We never
argument.
raised our
We never raised our
voice.
voices. We took communication courses,
Yeah.
all of that.
That's beautiful.
And we never had violence.
You never raised your voice?
We didn't raise our voices.
As you see, Will's response when Jada Pinkett Smith actually dropped the F-bomb in front of all their friends, his response was to hit her on top of the head with a newspaper. And he asked her if they can leave the room so that they can talk. She was very upset, very visibly upset. But it made a lot of sense what he did. And because of this, he established early on in his marriage that he was not going to allow certain things to enter in. And the fact that he told her, he said, look, we can't be together. He all but said, we can't be together if you're going to be cursing in my house, if you're going to be behaving a certain way and acting like this, because I was in a house where I witnessed domestic violence. This is what he was saying to her. And he said, I'm not going to allow this to be in my house, so straighten up and fly right, or else we can't be together. Very strong words coming from one of Hollywood's power couples. Now, I only call them a power couple because that is how the world views them, okay? Again, I'm not talking about all the other shenanigans and things that are going on in their marriage. People consider them a power couple because of their staying power, because of their relationship, and all of those other things, okay? And so that I'm only referencing how people view them, right? We know that there are things that are not biblically correct in their marriage. But this particular thing, how this man established early on that you're not going to behave this way in this marriage, and this woman was brought to tears, and she pretty much said, okay, I agree with you. And so they have kept certain things out of their marriage because he laid the foundation from the very beginning. And so I thought that was very powerful. I thought it was very powerful that he was able to do that and achieve that, because it wasn't something he wanted to see in his marriage. Any type of verbal abuse or domestic violence or hitting or striking or anything of the sort. Very, very powerful in my opinion. Now again, we do plan on restarting the marriage series because we see that it is very, very important. A lot of marriages are failing for a number of different reasons, and most of the time it's because one or the other is not willing to look at the man or the woman in the mirror. They are not willing to meet each other on common ground. Someone has to be right, someone has to be wrong. And when you only see the other person as wrong all of the time, and you never see yourself as wrong, and you are not trying to reason together, then you're going to see divorce all the time. And that is what we are seeing. Very, very weak marriages that are just falling apart at the seams. We see them and among celebrities, and we see them among our own families, among people that we know. Marriages are just failing because people do not understand the covenant of marriage and they don't honor it. And so this is why you see so much divorce. But again, thank you all for joining us on this episode of Redirecting. And as always, remember to subscribe to this channel and share our videos. We want to kind of mix things up a bit, as we always have, but we would like to have others join us in discussions. We have an upcoming show where we are going to be discussing the failures of black business. So stay tuned to this channel and be sure to share, like, and subscribe. With that, I will say shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share,